Alright, so today we're going to be learning how to make a basic joint, how to tie some wires together. First and foremost, you're going to need Romex. Obviously, you would never attach Romex together like that. That's not going to do anything. But for the sake of our video, that's how we're going to do it. Now, there's different ways to strip Romex. First of all, this is Romex.
Daddy.
Did you cut down a tree?
Yeah. Come, Daddy.
Okay. I'll come see it in a minute.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look.
There's a couple different ways to strip Romex. I'll show you the first way, the way that I'm not too fond of, but some people do. And then I'll show you the better way, in my opinion. So the first way to strip Romex is you take your strippers. Now I've got this combination pair of strippers. I would highly suggest these. They've done really good because they got the needle nose right on them. So you take your strippers and you do like that, and then you turn it over, you do like that again, and then there you go. Then you just cut your ground clean off. So that's the way that I don't like it. Obviously there's some people out there that do, and they can probably do it in such a way that they don't cut the ground off, but for the sake of the video, this is the way that you should do it. If you're going to do electrical work, this is the way that you should do it. Take your knife. You need to have a razor knife. This is going to be one of your everyday, almost repetitively during the day tools. You have to have a razor knife. Doesn't matter what kind, as long as it's a razor knife. So you take your razor knife, take your Romex, put it right there in the center, just run it right down that. Peel your cover off, cut it. Now, yeah, I'm not going to confuse you. Do it like that, pull it off. Okay. Alright. So there's that. So again, for the sake of the video, this is connected, but normally that's never, ever, ever going to be connected. There ain't no reason to ever make a joint like that. So you're making your joint. You're in your attic. You've got a junction box. You just added something, I don't know. And all of a sudden you're like, oh no, how do I make a joint? I've seen the craziest possible things done when it comes to making these joints. So it's not hard, but sometimes people just need a little direction. Just like, yeah. So take your strippers. You want to strip off a little bit of that insulation there on both your wires. Okay.
Wow. Daddy, see? Come, Daddy, look. Look.
Did you cut down a tree?
Yeah.
I'm gonna come and see it. I'm showing some people how to make up a joint on YouTube's.
Oh, she, oh.
You can look. All right. So you strip them, then you take your linemen or your Kleins. I wouldn't waste my money on anything other than Kleins when it comes to these kind of pliers, but that's just me. Take your Kleins, you line up your copper, so like, just so you can see clearly. You're lining up that copper like that, okay? So you've stripped off about a 1/4 inch, right? You line up your copper, and this is kind of a finesse thing. You'll get a good feeling for it, but your joint, where the wires are connecting, is right here. You're not using your wire nut to connect them unless it's stranded, but for the sake of the video, we're not going to go into that. This is just solid copper, how to make your connection. You grab hold, not too tight, and you just start to nice and easy let them twist around each other, okay? And then you kind of give it a little extra twist so that it starts twisting down in the insulation. It's not necessary to twist it all the way down the insulation unless you're just a super electrician or an overzealous homeowner. But you definitely do want to make sure that that's tight. So remember, so you got 2 wires coming together, you're holding them steady. Can you see that? You grab it on with this, nice and easy, just nice and easy. And twist. Okay, now as far as your grounds go, with the grounds, that is fine to go ahead and just twist them all the way through, especially if you're not going to crimp them or wire knot them. But that's not up to code. So for you people who are getting an inspection, you're always going to crimp or wire knot. Most people watching this video aren't getting inspections. Hang on. Alright, wire nuts. What's your wire nut doing? Is your wire nut making your connection? No, absolutely not. Your wire nut is really just covering that copper so that when these two wires are in the box together, they're not arcing and sparking. So I'm personally fond of these, what color is that? Tan? They're not gray, they're tan. Tan wire nuts. Some people like to use different ones. Obviously, the bigger the wire nut, the more wires you can fit under it. They are rated for certain sizes, but when it comes to a universal wire nut, tan is the best. There's a lot of people that will argue with that, but I like them. It's all about personal preference. I mean, of course, you don't want to have two number 6 wires under a tan. That just wouldn't make sense. But with a 14, you could use a yellow or a tan, 2 of them. Twist them up. Again, no need to twist that. That's already making a good connection. There's no danger in that. And so that's it. So now that you've seen this video, you've got no excuse to be taking 2 wires, putting them together like that, taking a wire nut and twisting it over it, and then putting a whole roll of tape all the way around it. That tape is not doing anything. That tape is not helping you in the slightest. Furthermore, you've got no excuse to be using, what are those things called? Let's see here. You've got no excuse to be using one of these. These are for very special applications. You should not be using these on every application, in my opinion. This is the easy way to do it. A lot of people that use these, you know, they think, oh yeah, well it's easy, it's quick. Well, the problem is, if you ever have one of these Wagos or Wagos or whatever you call them, hey, don't do that. Don't do that. You can look down in there and see that the only thing that's making that connection is a very thin piece of aluminum. And I know it's rated, it's UL listed, but so is a lot of things. So is a lot of things. When you backstab an outlet and everybody gives you trouble for it, you got to understand the reason they're giving you trouble is because the only thing making that connection is a little tiny piece of aluminum. And I can't tell you, if you're an electrician, you know, hey buddy, the amount of service calls you get because somebody backstabbed an outlet and over the years, it's gone bad, that connection's gone bad. So don't try to do it the easy way. This is a standard method. This right here will get you by every time, 10 times out of 10. That's right. So that's how you make a joint. You can do that in any application. I mean, you probably got what you needed from the video at this point. I might extend the video and show you how to put wires on a switch and on a receptacle. Stay tuned.